Absolutely, absolutely. A tip that I have for any seller, not only for juniors or more experienced sellers, connecting with the call, the script or the framework that you might use, I always tell the same. Hey, you know that you can control volume right now, right? You understand your value proposition. You know that you can make a lot more calls to different people. Why don't you, if there is a possibility, sometimes it's not that easy, it's easy to say, it's not that easy to execute. But what I always recommend as a time management skill or even prioritization of leads is whenever you have a call per power hour block for 1 hour, for example, or 1.5 hour, try to call exactly or the most similar as possible ICP. Why I'm saying this? For example, let's make a clear example or a practical example. Again, going back to Revolut, that everyone knows this as a fintech, right? You are selling fintech solution. Either I was selling to the VP of finance, the CEO, or the financial director. At some point, the treasury manager or treasury director. All of them, depending on the company, the size of the company, the headcount, the industry they are in, etc., they could be the same persona, right? But they have different responsibilities. They are being measured by different KPIs, and they have different fears and emotional things that if you impact those, it's more likely them to drive, for example, an action, right? So how is the, or what's the practical tip that I'm giving here? Instead of just calling randomly a CEO, then a financial director, then the head of HR, then going back to a financial director, you need your brain to connect to these different personas, different pains, different symptoms, different KPIs. Call all of them in the same power hour block. Why? Maybe the first call is not the best, but the third one or the number 10 will be really good because you already have oiled the process of nailing the pain, nailing the solution, and connecting the bridge between where they are and where they want to be, right? So this is a practical tip that I always try to highlight. And regarding the prep script as you are sharing here, Satwick, and I completely agree with Andreas, the first 1, 2, 3 sentences when you are a newbie, and not only when you are a newbie, are key because that gives you the confidence if someone say, yes, you can continue, or please tell me more, or something like that, and you don't have that first hard objection, that gives you the confidence to keep moving forward, right? And in this case, as you can see, lead with context. Emma, I just finished reading your press release. So this is a trigger, right? I saw that you're hiring SDRs. I noticed that you're expanding into a new market. I know that you started 2 weeks ago, so congrats on that. Whatever it is, make it personal, make it relevant. And then what I really like about this specific framework is what I'm highlighting here. I think that everyone can see this. That is basically in the second line. I'm going to be honest, this is a sales call or this is a call out of the blue, but it's a well-researched one. That is really relevant because you are telling them, hey, I'm taking the time to do this because I know that this is relevant for you, right? And the tone, it's important as well. And then you ask for you use a permission-based opener. Either you can skip this or use another one or a content-based or whatever it is. But hey, if you give me 20 seconds of your time, I might be able to tell you why I call you, and you can tell me if that's relevant for you and we can move on, right? So you make an impact at the beginning, you caught their attention, you let them know that they weren't expecting you, and then you ask for permission so you don't have a hard stop. Once they give you the permission, then there is another first sentence that needs to be super relevant. That it's, hey, usually when opening a new office, if you connect the context with the problem, this happens, right? And you highlight the pain, you highlight the cost of inaction, you highlight the problem. Productivity goes down because you have to build new processes and the team is all over the place, not doing anything. I don't know, right? So is this, am I in the right direction? Is this happening to you? I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Then you start handling objections and you keep the conversation going on, right? So this is how I would structure the sequence. And thank you for being my designer. I don't know if it's Jan or you, Sadwick.
It's Jan.
I appreciate it.
I put out my artistic side, but I
And
really like awesome. this way on.
Yeah.
Do you allow me to tell you why I'm calling you specifically?
Yep.
You can just say why I'm calling you, warum ich mich bei Ihnen melde in German, right? Warum ich dich anrufe, oder, right? So you can make it really specific, and then you can be the dentist, right?
Yeah.
So what we
Absolutely.
also would do is to switch with the time. So we would either call before 8, because the decision makers are usually in the car dropping off their kids, or it's the dentist, or whatever, it's the kindergarten, whatever, so they would pick up. So we would actually go earlier 2 times in the office. We would call from 7:30 to 8, and then have breakfast with the team, everybody, and then you get a higher pickup rate because they are driving, they're in the car, blah, 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 blah. Also same in the evening, right? Especially on a Friday. Most of the, like 99.9% of the SaaS companies are stopped working at 3, I
On
would
Friday,
say.
yeah.
You have the all hands, and then you say, ciao, cacao, right? Then make the calls, man, because they're all happy. They're all happy. It's finally the week, and I finally closed my deal. I finally finished my budget, whatever. Use that goddamn time. So, and you can make it fun, right? Andreas, maybe you're a team lead or whatever. Bring out some beers, bring out some chocolate, whatever, and then make a round of cold call and make it in a room together. Everybody does 3 cold calls before they go in a round. You sit on a big table. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. So use that time, and I think what we learn a lot, and I think this is a lesson for young people as well. You gotta enjoy the process. If you don't enjoy the process of making sales, of doing the hard work, you will burn out. But if you find ways to make the process, so what I mean by the process is making a cold call, writing a cold email, negotiating, if you find a way to make it fun, the prospect will hear it. And you can be really creative about it, because yes, sales is a system, but it's also an art. It's also an art, and you can bring your own touch into this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So